Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From the 42nd Annual Houston Auto Show, this is the award-winning In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, we got interviews with some of the participant manufacturers and others here at today's show. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2024 Jeep Wrangler 392.
Oh.
And the 392 is not how long it is.
It's not a wheelbase.
It's not a wheelbase. It's not the weight. It's the engine size.
Ah.
And it's a hot rod. They put that engine in the Super B. And let me tell you something. It's bad. It's real bad. Jeff has the Motor Minute on this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley has joined us fresh from the bed this morning, and I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us. Thank you very much. In the hot seat right now, our first interview of the day. Can't imagine why. We're going to make this the Jeep segment. Why?
Okay.
Because we are in the Stellantis booth, and more specifically in the Jeep booth here at the Houston Auto Show. We've got all of the Jeeps here, and they've got Camp Jeep right over there.
Right yonder.
Right yonder. Right,
and they're lining up already.
Oh, yeah.
They opened the doors, and folks just rushed over to this area.
That's right. It's like Disneyland. You know, when they first opened the gate at Disneyland, and everybody rushes to their favorite place? You know, Pirates of the Caribbean or Space Mountain or whatever it is.
The restroom.
Don goes to Tiny Tots Town or whatever that.
Yeah. Thank you. I do, with my grandson. Just to
Right,
make
yeah,
it
I knew
clear.
that. I knew
And,
that.
Yeah.
Did I leave that out?
You sick old man.
It's all right.
Sorry.
At any rate, so Benny Munguia from, ready, drum roll, South Padre Island, Texas. Who do you know from South Padre Island?
You.
That man.
This
right
guy
there.
right here.
Yeah. South Padre. You know, you're the only person that I have ever known, met, or been in touch with and seen from South Padre Island.
I actually have a cousin that lives in South Padre.
Okay. I was born and raised here, but once I moved down to the valley, I was like, South Padre, I can't.
Yeah. You know, I was kind of looking for a nice, deep, dark Hawaiian tan, but I'm not seeing that right now.
Easy.
Just saying.
Yeah, I haven't been around home for months.
Are you on the road with Jeep all the time?
For the last couple months, yes. So it's been an interesting tour, I would say.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know that on the road that you have to read about your company a lot because there's been lots of changes with Stellantis here in the past month and a half or so. They fired Louis Prima, and he's gone, and now we got somebody from the U.S. of A. heading things up.
All right.
And we are really excited because I think that the turnaround is going to be jaw-dropping in the coming months.
Yes.
They've already made announcements regarding advertising, the whole new push. It's going to be good. But in the meantime and in between time, Camp Jeep. Why is it that everybody comes over here and wants to? Because this is not the only ride and drive, if you want to call it that. This is not the only one. Yeah. Because there's lots of them, outdoors, indoors, but always Camp Jeep. Why?
Yeah, it's just a unique looking obstacle illusion that you're looking at, but it's not an illusion, of course, but it's something that it's rare that you get to see in auto shows.
Describe what it is.
What it is an experience for people to come over, and you're getting specs, you're getting knowledge as well as going obstacles, as like going over the breakover where you have your wheel up in the air and they explain it why. And
so the passengers go with a professional driver, or do
Right.
the folks drive it themselves?
they go with the professional driver.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Are you one of the professional drivers?
I used to be. I still do it here and there when I want to have fun.
Scare the you-know-what out of the people?
Oh yeah. I've been doing it for so many years, but I love it. I love it. I mean, I can't.
So
beat it.
do you demonstrate things like the disconnect for the sway bar and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Disconnection of the sway bar.
And why is that important? For those that don't know, why is that important?
It's just a lot of people don't know about it. Half the people, I would say. So we explain it how it works, how it disconnects.
And the importance of why it disconnects.
Right.
Because it keeps that other wheel on the ground when typically it would not in a car or something else.
Yeah, hence the word 4x4.
Yeah.
4 wheels on the ground.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah. And what is the gain as far as inches or feet when you disconnect the sway bar?
It's, I believe, 33 inches or so.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a good drop, but it helps when you're going in angles, so you don't have that tire up in the air, so you have more control.
Yeah. Now, are all of these vehicles over there, are they all Jeep Wranglers?
No. We got Wranglers. We do also have Gladiators and the Grand Cherokees.
Now, does the Gladiator also have an option, I would assume, detachable sway bar?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so the Gladiator is just like a Wrangler is just a truck with a 5-foot bed in the back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I've read, and we've actually had them, and we've talked about it. It is not just a truck bed on the back of a Wrangler. It is designed as the truck. It does not you just don't pick the body up off of it and move it over to the Wrangler.
Right. Yeah, it's very similar to it. It's just a little bit more extension to it, but it does quite a bit just about the same, even though it's a little bit a longer wheelbase.
Right.
So it does feel just a little different.
Yeah.
Just a little different.
So what are they going to experience? You said, I see there's something like an incline and access, egress down a hill. You've got bumps and things to go over.
Yeah, so we have, we got our 18-foot high hill. Obviously, that's the most attractive thing you could see with 35-degree angles on it. Obviously, we have 4x4 all the way around the track, 4x4 low. We also have the what we call the breakover. That's where we actually show the disconnection of the sway bar. So it shows you the stretching.
The articulation of it.
Yeah, the articulation of the front suspension.
Is this size typical of what you do at other shows, or is this larger, smaller? Is it average?
It's about average.
Average?
It's the same. Yeah. We do have different type of hills. We have a smaller hill and we have a bigger hill. Fortunately, it doesn't fit in here because it's a pretty big, tall hill.
Yeah.
So Jeep people, I can see Jeep people are going to pretty well know what you're talking about when you start talking about disconnecting sway bars. But what about somebody that's pretty new? I mean, do they seem to kind of grasp what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the big points that we do is trying to explain people about what this is and what this does and what this other thing does. And, as far as like sway bar, axle locks,
and then you can kind of show them the result of doing that because of your setup over here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, different type of trim levels. There's Rubicon, Saharas, there's sports. So
it's interesting because I think back on the beginning of the civilian-style Jeep when it first came on the market. And it was pretty much just a mimic of the military, but it had a few more options on it. But you still had to get out and go to the lockers up front to get them to lock. You don't have to do any of that anymore.
Yeah,
all of it's done from the driver's seat, and it's all electronic, and it works really well.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's pretty lazy nowadays. So you just push a button, So
right.
But
and the other thing that I did want to mention, and I'll mention it in my review, is the fact that the new infotainment system, and we're going to talk about the info part of the infotainment system, especially when it comes to the upper end Wranglers. Not only are you able to control all of the different functions of the four-wheel drive, you can actually see it on the display what you're doing.
Yes,
it shows you that, and that's a relatively new thing.
Yeah,
and it's kind of evolved over the past few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome just to see that, and shows you what degrees you're doing, and vertically, horizontally. It's a great feature. Now they have like different screens nowadays, so it shows you more clarity.
The roll angle, the yaw, all of the stuff that you hear in the space shuttle. Yeah.
Pitch. There you go.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Houston style, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing too. Why would you need a Jeep Wrangler, a 392 in Houston, Texas, that's flat as a board?
Because you can.
Because you can.
Because you can.
And the 392 is just a little overkill, I think, for rock crawling.
Yeah.
but it sure does go fast on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about
Well,
in Houston,
you
Texas.
Get to the rocks quicker.
Yeah,
That's what it
what it
is.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here, I think it's mostly about the beach. And you see so many guys with 4x4s, and in particular, the Wranglers at the beach. Dune crawling, and you know all about that down at South Padre Island.
Oh, yeah.
They probably have courses down there, don't
And
they?
clubs.
They have a little bit of, I think Houston has more clubs than we have down there.
Right, but as far as courses are concerned.
Yeah, if you usually you could just find
Find it, yeah. Because,
some tracks around
I mean, from my knowledge,
Yeah.
that you can't go too deep into the dunes because then the Parks and Wildlife Department get after you.
Right,
Because you
right.
don't want to tear that up and mess that
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that somewhere down there that you haven't discovered yet, there's got to be a closed course that they can manipulate the sand
Yeah.
so you can do your thing in your new Wrangler.
I've
Yeah.
got a friend of mine, acquaintance that actually belongs to a club, and they go out to West Texas. They go to Moab. You know, they have big events out there as well, and they've all got custom fiberglass, all this other stuff on there.
Now,
But,
Jeep goes out to Moab.
Oh, yeah.
They're big out
yeah.
there.
Yeah, they have a Jeep Safari now. up
Absolutely.
there,
You ever been
which
on
is-
that?
Yeah, I have. I've been there twice or 3 times, I believe, and it's incredible just to see thousands and thousands of Jeeps, and you got Willys and 1942s, and you have like
Yeah.
these little clubs and all these
Spotters
fixed
and all
up.
that.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Well, I will tell you that years ago I belonged to an organization, I won't name which one it is, Mars knows, that we were relegated to a very elevation-savvy ranch. And it was always so much fun to take that Wrangler on the hill climb part of it. It wasn't a huge elevation. But I will tell you, you had to be pretty savvy. We've also been up on a mountaintop where you have to have spotters because otherwise, if you didn't have a spotter, you could roll off that mountain
Yeah.
real easily.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff gets pretty serious.
Yeah.
And these guys that customize their Wranglers, you're going, oh my God, how much money you got in that thing?
But the thing I think about, and they talk about, when you're on one of these trails, and there's 4 or 5 or a group or your club is out there, and you break, how are you going to get back? How are you going to pull your rig out of there? That's always a question that concerns me to do that.
Well, that would be your winch.
Well,
Yeah.
a winch, but how long is it going to take to get you out of there? If you're deep back in that
If you're
area.
stuck in there and your Jeep's broke down, you don't care how long it takes to get out, as long as you get out.
All right.
And you could call a wrecker.
Okay.
And we've witnessed that.
Yeah,
We had somebody that went down in the riverbed, and they said, stay close to the shore. Did they? No. Put it right down in the deep part of the river. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
They pulled it out, cleaned out, dried out. The air cleaner element started right up.
Yeah.
Away they went.
I mean, the good thing now too is that they have a front camera that you can use.
Yes, I saw that.
And even if it gets muddy or wet or whatever you want to call it, and there's a little spray on it so it can wash off the mud, so
Yeah,
you can
camera
actually
washer.
still see everything in front of you, which is that's a great idea.
You're talking about, they go to West Texas and they go to North Texas. So apparently there's a lot of stuff up in Oklahoma as well, but it's such a difference that, like Don said, the few times that we've been able to go someplace besides the sand and the flat Texas here on the coast, rock climbing is just a totally different thing.
Experience,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's the first couple of times I did it, I was pretty impressed that the Jeep would do it, because I didn't think it would. And these guys, I don't know, go on up there, you don't have to worry about it.
So y'all started Wednesday, correct? You loaded in and started Wednesday?
right, correct.
So has it been more guests coming or less, or on average for folks visiting?
It's been pretty average. Obviously today's Saturday, so hopefully it'll pick up
take
a
right
lot
off
more.
on it.
Oh, yeah, this afternoon's going to be nuts.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. And let's not forget that you've got the big guns across the way over at NRG Stadium
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
with the trucks.
Monster truck.
Yeah. Show, yeah.
Yeah, we can't compete with those. So
Yeah, you can. Just
Well-
run underneath them.
The fun part about this weekend is that you've got the monsters across the street. And if you want to make a weekend of automotive, so to
Yeah.
speak, this is the place.
Yep.
NRG. Yeah.
You know, one thing that 392's got, it's got a performance exhaust button. Makes it considerably louder, more performance.
Right.
You know, if you wanted to compete with the monsters, you could go out there and get a Sawzall and cut the mufflers and the cats off of the Jeeps, as you're going
Don't
around.
give anybody any
boy.
ideas, Mars.
I'm just thinking.
I think that's against the law.
Yeah.
But we're inside the building.
Well,
you're not
you're-
on the street.
Okay. Well, that's
You're
great. I'm
breaking
sure
the
the
law.
Houston Police Department appreciates you talking about
Yeah,
catalytic
I saw a
converter
couple-
being
Just saying.
sawzalled
Saw a
off.
couple of sheriffs walking through here, just eyeballing you.
Okay, so to let everybody know, if you come out, which we hope that you do, to experience the Houston Auto Show, that when you enter the front of the building, go all the way to the right back quarter. And that's where we are, and that's where Camp Jeep is.
Yes, sir.
Can't miss it.
You got hot dogs over there?
I wish we did. I'm hungry.
Well, there's right over there is the concession booth. They
tell you
got
what,
hot dogs.
We got donuts back here. You want to grab a donut?
Yeah, there's always
Yeah,
that.
that's the best we got today.
Benny, thanks so much for joining us
thank
today.
you, gentlemen, so
Appreciate
much.
it.
It's
You betcha.
always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to let
Appreciate
Mike
you
take a
guys.
ride.
Of course, anytime.
And you got to be 44 inches tall to get on there.
Yeah, so I think he's high.
Yeah, she's checking you.
Yep, sure is.
Got it. Benny, thanks again. We appreciate
Be careful.
you.
Donna,
Thank
come
you,
over there
sir.
just so you can check him and see how tall he is.
Just ahead, a review of the Jeep Wrangler 392 and Jeff's Motor Minute right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla is pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Hey, you can catch the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on InWheelTime.com and the Odyssey radio app. Or check us out on the video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider, including SiriusXM. Okay, let's do the Jeep Wrangler review.
Can we hold off on that for one moment? Let me do mine first because we're going to hook a cable up.
Whatever you want.
Okay,
You
so
know
the
what?
Motor Minute.
I'm
The Motor
only
Minute.
along here for the ride.
Okay, the Motor Minute. Wanna do it?
You're going to do it now, or
Right now.
we're going
Right
to
now.
hook a
And
cable up first?
We're going to hook a cable up for that as well. But the Motor Minute is, guess what's happening at 9 o'clock this morning? They announced the Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
Oh, they did.
Hot Rod Tour of Texas is officially open for your tickets, for your passenger tickets, your hotels, the route, everything's going on for that Motor Minute, or for my Motor Minute, for the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. April 24th,
I believe.
Yep. And it's going to be great.
It starts down in Victoria, and it's going to make its way up to and through Houston, and it's going to wind up in Madisonville this year.
But that information's online, Hot Rod Tour of Texas. You can get it going, and We'll see you there. Okay, you're on.
Did you get your cable hooked
Got
up?
my cable hooked up.
All right.
All right, time now for our car review this hour, and we're going to talk about the 2025 Kia Carnival. Now, the vehicle itself isn't a new design. What's new about this one is this is the hybrid version. Okay, so let's go down the list here and tell you all about it. Final assembly location is Gwangmyeong, Korea. That's where it's built. It is a Kia, and that's their home base. Available trim levels include the LXS to start off with, then moves up to EX, SX, and then top of the line SX Prestige. We had the hybrid SX Prestige, top of the line. It's a minivan all the way, no doubt about it. And I have to tell you, I really do like minivans. As far as people movers, this is top of the line. You don't have to worry about going over rocks and that sort of stuff like most SUVs are set up. But minivans do have an image. I think that Kia has tried to set aside the image part and make it look more along the lines of an SUV, which clearly is the most popular form of transportation today. Seats, including the driver, up to 8, depending on the configuration, so that's good. This hybrid, as I mentioned, all new for 2025. Exterior features include a minivan that resembles an SUV. How did they do it? Well, they laid the windshield back like an SUV, much more aerodynamic, and they did kind of a mind-blowing thing in design with the doors. Now, it does have the sliding side doors in the back, but the way that they're designed with the A, B, and C pillar, with the windshield being laid back, it kind of looks like an SUV. You'll have to look at it to see, but I think you'll agree that it tries to break the minivan look. Attractive front grille and extensive lighting across of it. Looks really good. Huge rear hatch with big lighting across it. All adds to a sharp look. Some wheel designs are really not that attractive in my mind. You may think that they are, but each one is related to the certain trim level that you decide that you want to buy, what you can afford. What I liked, the clever way that Kia designed its look to look like an SUV. What could use improvement? A $495 extra charge for a silver paint job. Why? Stick with just a regular paint job. It goes into the same paint booth, and there's no reason to have to pay extra money. All vehicles are painted, you know. Interior highlights? It's got the minimalist look, dash design, with a 2-foot wide, let's make it 2 foot 6 inch wide, one screen that contains not only the instrument cluster in front of the driver, clearly, but it also contains the infotainment system over the center console. It works well, except with the minimalist control surfaces, that the volume control and the station tuning control double as the HVAC system. In other words, you turn up and down the temperature that you want in the vehicle, or you can adjust the fan, but the same knobs? Yeah, not a big fan of that. Soft touch materials inside are top notch, cool and comfortable. Second row seating reclines, and the center seat actually will come out. For those that have small children, each one of the seats in the center section are adjustable back and forth, including the center one, which is really cool because if you have a small child, then you can pull the small child up toward you in the center seat so you have access to them. Flat phone charger doubles as a storage area. It's well designed, works well. Cargo and trunk room, well, it's cargo room really, behind the third row. It has a huge well back there that does two things. Swallows up lots of luggage and whatever you need to have back there, but it also swallows up the third row seat if you want to fold that down and use the entire back area. What I liked the minimalist controls, except for, as I mentioned to you, the knobs that control the HVAC and the radio. What could use improvement? Again, HVAC control knobs, double radio volume. I get the minimalist look, but that just a little bit over the top. Anyway, as far as power is concerned, it is a 1.6-liter turbocharged hybrid configuration. So it does have a battery. So you don't have to plug it in. It does it all by itself, which is really cool. 242 horsepower, which is a lot out of this battery and engine combination. 271 pound-feet of torque. It does well. I didn't drive it with a loaded-up vehicle, but it works for this vehicle. 6-speed automatic transmission. And here's what really hits home. Miles per gallon. It's rated at 34 in the city, 31 on the highway for a combined of 33. The gas version, by the way, is 21 miles per gallon combined. I got 32.2 miles per gallon over 368 miles. I loved it. What I liked, obviously, is the mileage. What could use improvement? Acceleration from a dead stop sometimes is delayed. It's trying to think about, okay, what gear do I need to go into? Is he pressing the accelerator hard enough to bring in the engine? It could be annoying and it could be scary. It's not in all situations. You have to drive it and decide for yourself. Ride and handling, pretty good. It is a minivan. It's a big vehicle. The steering is light to the touch, so easy to maneuver through the parking lots of your favorite stores, which I'm sure you'll spend a lot of time in. Here's the pricing on it. The base trim price starts at $52,600. The price is tested $54,490. The base model price $40,800. How does it compare with the other vehicles? The Toyota Sienna is a hybrid-only vehicle, and it starts at $39,000, within $1,000 of the Kia. Chrysler Pacifica, plug-in hybrid. It's a plug-in hybrid. It starts at $51,055. It's the most expensive of our comparison. And the Honda Odyssey starts at $41,920, within a couple of $1,000s of the Kia. By the way, the Kia has an overall warranty of 10 years and 100,000 miles, and that pretty much kills it when it comes to comparison with the other vehicles. I really did like this vehicle a lot. I love the gas mileage. And if you're going to be in the minivan market anytime soon, please check all of the minivans from all of the manufacturers. Drive them, look at all of the features, sit in all 3 rows of seating, see how easy it is to fold down that 3rd row and get it out of the way. What is the adjustability of the center row, the 2nd row? And are you comfortable driving it? Check those out and then price compare. It's very important. You want to drive away loving your new vehicle. And that is my review of the 2025 Kia Carnival Hybrid SX Prestige. It's time for the 47th Annual Corvette Chevy Expo in Galveston, Saturday and Sunday, March 15th and 16th at the Galveston Island Convention Center. This premier indoor event features iconic Chevrolets, from classic Camaros to America's sports car Corvette. See over 135 displays, automotive vendors, and unique finds at the expansive swap meet. You'll also see the all-handmade Galveston Craft Show, featuring over 100 local artisans. Be part of this Chevy celebration, March 15th and 16th. For tickets, visit CorvetteChevyExpo.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.